it looks like probably we can get an interior view of this one too. And another really elaborate Edgar. Oh, I'm having a real hard time with that. It's in cursive. It's not very contrasty. And it looks like Jesse something or Jacobs. I can't. I'm gonna try and get that back when I'm editing, or maybe we'll see when we get up here. Kilburn, okay. Edgar Kilburn, 1885, and Marie Rose Kilburn, 1904. And it looks like that's it. And you can see there's some Latin and like maybe a family crest. It looks like Vincent Veritas. And some, okay, then there's some Masonic symbols in there, so they were clearly a member of the Masons. Wow. It's amazing to see how clean it is that I can not only film the name, but myself in the reflection filming through the door. I know how many of you have been wanting to see another mausoleum episode. I don't know why I've been putting off coming here for so long. I've known about it for a while, but like, I don't know, I've just been trying to, I don't even know. There's really, I guess, no good reason. And again, no view whatsoever of what the stained glass would be from this side. A very nice little bench up here. Again, though, I've seen some people use them. Personally, I just don't feel comfortable. Even though it's clearly a chair, intended to be a chair, I guess, and they even sell them that way. And so I don't know that it's really bad, but I've never sat in one, and I never intend to. So we have the Macmillan Mausoleum here, and I'm not sure, but there is a famous business around here. I don't know if it's a business per se, kind of like a public service, not necessarily a public entity, but it's called the Macmillan Center. And so I don't know if that's any association, but it is relatively historic, something that I've known about for a long time. We see Dale Macmillan, 1880 to 1971, and Agnes Macmillan, 1883 to 1971. And I don't think there's, oh yeah, we do have a Stewart, 1905 to 1958. And I think there is one more space in there, but it doesn't look like it's in use at all. And oh wow, it actually goes over further. You can kind of tell when we were walking up just how big this is. I don't know how well I'll be able to get it, but there are people over in these sections too. It's just going to be incredibly hard, if not impossible. Let's see if I can even view in there. I can almost barely see it through the window, but I think it's going to be almost impossible to get an interior view of this one. None of the windows appear to be clean enough, and the glare level right now. Let's see, I'm going to try, I don't know what I'm looking at, but I'm just kind of holding it up where there's the least amount of glare. And hopefully maybe we can get an interior shot. As like cars are driving by me, probably looking suspicious. Okay. I think that is the end this way of the private mausoleums. And then we have this one over here that we'll go take a look at, and I guess then we'll just make a beeline for those. Did the truck finally move? I can't tell. Either they were out taking a smoke break or they were staring me down, because never once did they do anything that I could see. They just stood outside the white panel van and yeah, there's somebody getting out. That's not a white panel van though. Let's see, we're coming up here on the mausoleum of Harry and Matilda Snyder. Harry of 1860 to 1929 and Matilda of 1851 to 1926. So again, some interesting lives. I'd say Matilda would definitely probably clearly remember the Civil War and hearing about it. And I don't know about Harry. Would have been pretty young. Probably maybe has some just vague memories. And some also historic graves surrounding it here. Okay. Now I have to make a decision because I don't know if there's any other mausoleums in the other direction. Oh, I think now I can see maybe over the hill. There's a few above ground crypts, and whoa, almost fell. Wow, this one has something clearly missing. That's really hard to read. I do have my flashlight with me though, and apparently, oh wow, there's a grotto over there, it looks like. Let's see, is that 1851? Oh man, everybody does the rubbings, and apparently that can cause some damage, and so apparently you just stick your flashlight to the side, and that makes so much sense. It causes more contrast. You see that it's an 1851. I don't know, Lacey? Wow, I can't believe I've not done that before. I feel so dumb now. Oh, there's another one. I guess I'd be remiss without mentioning. Oh, what is this? The Monument Center. Okay, so this must be like a restoration job that's maybe done, or you can see some, obviously they're clear color photos that are done recently, but surrounded by just purely historical memorials. But again, that doesn't always mean anything. And then we have this historic grave here, which seems to be, let's see, 1883, a member of, oh, okay, this is some military regiment here, and again, something is dug out underneath a lot, and I don't know what kind of, it's probably some kind of animal or something, but look how deep that goes. That's probably that's at least 3.5 feet down. That's further than a yardstick down. And I don't know, it kind of looks like something's been digging and throwing the dirt up around here. I don't know if it's like a groundhog or something, or if it's just some process of a restoration that I don't know. I don't think so though. I think an animal's digging. I think there's because this is how groundhogs burrow. They make like shallow graves, shallow holes like this, and then kind of go underneath things. They like to go under sheds and things like that. And so I'm wondering if there's maybe a small groundhog population. It'd be very interesting. And there's another Ohio Infantry, Captain J.A. Dorsheimer. And then Sylvester L. Lewis, Captain, the 7th Indiana Cavalry, 1890. Lots of veterans here. Lieutenant S.S. Hall of the 47th Indiana Infantry. And Leonard Sears, and it just says U.S. soldier. Oh, and here's a few more. We're not going to do too many individual memorials this time, but I did want to read these. Sergeant W.F. Holiday, 11th U.S. something, C.H.A. Is that cavalry? What is that? Let me know. And we have a please not be the living one. Okay. Little cicada there. You can hear them in the background. And that's a little shell that they crawled out of when they molted. We have something is it August Seath? 100th New York Infantry. Wow, all the way from New York and moved to Indiana. Incredible. Kind of a mystery stone here. W.M. Oruk, and no details in the front, or that might actually be the top there, and it's fallen. I'm not really 100% positive on that. Okay, I need to find a way around, or we need to head in a completely new direction now. I think we're doing pretty well though. Got a lot of daylight left, making good progress. I think we already have almost our first part filmed. I don't know if this is the first part, maybe this is the second part. If so, welcome to the second part of our private mausoleum tour here in Lindenwood Cemetery in Fort Wayne, Indiana. This is interesting here. I don't think this is historic in the least. It's just a cover for, let's see if I can look down in there. Let's see what's down there. Just some drainage. And I did see just a second ago over this way there's a pond, and it appears that they have like little, not secret, but like little tunnels that are connecting the different ponds so that the water level stays even across the board, or the drainage in case of a flood. And so it looks really kind of cool, a little creepy. Actually, we're gonna head that way first because my other thought was that it's actually just a little Catholic grotto that's in the side of the hill. So let's find out if it's a grotto or drainage. Like, how do I keep, like, in all this open space, and I'm hitting more spider webs today than when I walked into the woods a few days ago. This is ridiculous. So our pond's up here, and then we have some sort of, looks like cremation garden. We have a little brick tower here. It looks like maybe it's for cremated remains. I'm not 100% positive on that. And then that should bring us to, there's our, right over here is a little grotto or something. And so I want to check that out, but maybe we'll go ahead and jump over that way. And it does say pond front, okay, a pond front mausoleum available, meaning that white building right there. And that is one of the bigger ones. I think we'll go explore that on one of the upcoming series here, so make sure to stay tuned. I want to look at this one right here. And what a cool, I wonder if that's like is that an overflow port right there? Or is that just, no, those are actually stairs. So it's like you can kind of go, how cool is this? You can go underneath the willow tree here. And then you can, this is probably going to cover me in spider webs again. You can go up through the willows to this amazing view here. It's not even a bridge, but how interesting. I will just say one thing. What a beautiful, amazing place, but shame on you for dyeing your water. Don't dye your water green. It looks fine, natural. But absolutely gorgeous landscaping and design here. And looks like we have some other stuff over this way, and then we'll head up and check out this outdoor, whatever it's called. I don't know if it's, not sure the difference between, is it a columbarium if it's mostly for cremated remains? I can't remember exactly. And then here, coming up, I think is actually a grotto. Clearly there used to be something here. I don't know if it's complete right now. Wow, this place is incredible. To those of you that suggested that I come here, thank you so much. I knew about the place. I hadn't looked at too many pictures. I had glanced. Oh, okay. Cool. It's a little sundial. Interesting time-related joke here. My face marks the sunny hours. What can you say of yours? And no indication of who donated this artwork, or if maybe it was just designed and implemented by the staff originally back in the day. I did miss. We'll hit that in here in a second. Let's hit up this grotto. This is just too cool. And some of this stuff you can tell that it was used more back in the day. There's probably not quite as many people, maybe more recently with some of the things we've been going through and people getting more outdoor time finally, but you can tell that they don't put too much effort into planting this thing. You can see maybe some evidence of flowers that have blown over and planted themselves, or maybe they are out planting a few things here and there. Lots of these pieces and chunks sitting so far, but yeah, I'd say most certainly a little grotto. And I think there's more than a few of these. This one looks a little bit safer on the inside though, from another one that we're going to be visiting here pretty soon. And I don't see any bats. I do see that there was some piping here. So maybe at one time there was like a water feature. It might have had some, like a little pond back there and been flowing out. Either that, or it probably just had the traditional grotto scenes that you see, depictions of Mary or Jesus, Joseph, things like that. Yeah. If you're wondering about that, you can just look up Catholic grottos and you'll find all kinds of information about them. They're really cool. And some amazing pieces of art. And a lot of, oh wow, another big animal hole there. And what's interesting is you can see down in there is like a piece of pipe or something. I don't know if that's the pipe going in here, or maybe some rebar that was designed to support it back in the day. It looks like maybe they've been recently adding some dirt to it as well. Almost would make kind of, it's weird because there's that there. It's intended to be walked to, but it almost looks like it's made to be like a series of islands with like water pouring out of the grotto. So I may have to make a stop by the office and try and find some historical paperwork on this or information, just ask a few questions or something, because this is insane. Like, this clearly was designed and installed many years ago, and it's clear by the decay, and I can even hear the hollow steps of the hollowed out space below these steps where the erosion has occurred over the years. And something used to be here. I don't know if it was a gate or what exactly it was. Again, be interesting to try and look up some old historical photos, and I'm not going to step on this. You can see this is collapsed, and probably just had so much water flow underneath, and I don't know what this was. See like little places here to like hook in, maybe to pull something up. I don't think there's, you can see more of them here too. However, it doesn't feel like a grave. I think it might have just been holding decorations. There's no inscriptions, no names, nothing like that, so I'm really kind of doubting it's any sort of burial. And then again, just another little access stairway to the road level there. Very, very cool. Okay, our next destination is going to be up here. I'm getting a little bit off track, saying that I was going to do only private mausoleums today, but I feel like we've got so much time here today, and we've got so many episodes to make here that it's not going to really matter if we go off track for just a little bit from time to time. So there's the bell tower going off. We'll go see that in a little bit as well. Some just random stairways here. I kind of like stuff like this though. It really does make it seem just ancient in a way. It's like there's these stairs that are here that were clearly made by someone, but you don't know why they're here, what the real purpose was. It's probably just decorative, but you know, it's not like you can go back and ask. If it's written down somewhere, then you know, we might be lucky and get some information, but otherwise it's just kind of a mystery. But I think that's kind of neat sometimes too, because it just makes places feel so amazing and kind of makes you appreciate history all the more. That, you know, some things, even places like this that are so well cared for, can sort of fall into mystery and into the darker places of history that we don't really know. And so it's so important to keep records of almost anything, you know, even if it's just your daily life. You know, maybe someone hundreds and hundreds of years now can see how you lived today. So we've arrived here. It looks like it's just an outdoor mausoleum. I don't know how historic it is. You can see lots of dates from the early 1900s. Most of them, you see here, George Coons of 1964. So some of them are fairly old. Some of them are new. I'm not going to read all of them, obviously. Noel Heath, 1900 to 1984. So a little bit newer of an installation here. And really incredible. So I'm kind of guessing maybe this was built, unless I see, there's an 1899 to 19... It makes me wonder when it was built, so it must have been built maybe mid-1900s possibly.